Hello, good morning, and welcome to Self Care Sunday, where we explore what it means to fill our own cup. Say hello in the chat, whether you're live or in the replay. Know if you're here today, because today we are going to talk about boundaries. We're going to talk about why they are so hard to stick to, why they are so unclear as to what they are, and I'm going to show you a simple way to help you figure out what your boundaries should be. So I had an interesting conversation with a friend the other day, and we were talking about this job posting, and she was debating whether to apply for it. So it's not often that the exact next step in your career ladder presents itself, and she wanted to climb that ladder. She wanted to take the next step. She'd been in her job for a while now, and she was ready. But she was feeling conflicted. Like, she was wondering, do I have the time and the energy to do this? She has four young kids that take up a lot of her time and energy, and she was wondering if it is the right time to climb corporate ladder. And so she was thinking, if I say no to this, when is this opportunity going to present itself again? Like, if ever? Am I going to miss out if I don't take advantage of this opportunity right now? So, talk about a lot of old programming. The information that we have taken in throughout our lives has created programs that show up in exactly this kind of way and tell us what we're supposed to do and be and feel. And in this moment, it was telling her that in order to be successful, you needed to apply for this job. So if you don't know what I'm talking about with old programming, go into the guides section of the Facebook group and watch the intro to old programming. So we have lots of programs that tell us what it means to be successful. Like, if you think about it for a minute, um, think about what your programs might be around success and put in the chat some of the things that would define success for you. So, for example, for me in my programs, I think I had a lot of programs related to my career around success. Like, success means climbing the ladder, making good money, having the respect of my colleagues, and making sure that everyone knows that I work hard and do a damn good job, like that I'm competent at what I do. And that was my main definition of success. But also, if I think about it, had some peripheral definitions like success means being a good mother, which had all sorts of other programs around it, like ensuring that my kids are well fed and well educated and well mannered at all times. Um, and I had programs around my home as well, like success means that I have a nice house and a nice yard and I live in a nice neighborhood. Yes, Jen, thank you for showing up today. Success means making money. Um, and for you, success is being an author and becoming well known. Yes, that's climbing your corporate ladder. Absolutely. This is what most of us have is our definition of success. And so as I was talking to my friend, I could see that these definitions of success were kind of like colliding for her. So like she was thinking, if I climb the corporate ladder, will I be dropping my success at home? And if I don't climb now, will I be dropping my success in my career? And what will other people think of me? You have like so many programs about ensuring that other people think highly of you. So many. Like she was thinking, like she was telling me, what will my husband say if I don't go for this extra money? What will my parents say if I let this opportunity pass me by? And will my coworkers think I'm unmotivated because they're expecting me to apply for it? Okay, so back to boundaries. So the reason that this is a hard decision for her is because she's trying to set boundaries around her old program. She's trying to determine a course of action and make a decision around her old programming. And remember, old programming is made because we're trying to fit in and to do what is expected and what everybody else wants so that we can continue to be included in our social circles. And the problem was that she had never taken the time to think about what she really wants and what really matters to her in her life. And when you try to set boundaries around what you think you should want, you end up kind of wishy washy and uncertain and unable to make a decision because it collides, it rubs up against the old programming and the things that you truly want. And so you end up in this feeling of anxiety and uncertainty. And I want to be very clear that I don't teach boundary setting in my program until we know exactly what our values are and what matters most into your life. Because it's impossible to set boundaries when we don't know exactly what we're setting boundaries around. Okay? So today we're actually chatting about both. So being starting to get clear on uh, what really matters to us in our life and starting to get clear on what it means to protect those things that really matter. So in our conversation with my friend, here is what shifted it for her. My friend kept talking about this opportunity, and missing this opportunity. But what if we laid out all of the choices in front of her and thought of all of them, each of them, as an opportunity? So when we do it that way, yes, you have the opportunity to apply for this job. Absolutely. This isn't an opportunity presented in front of you. But you also have the opportunity to prioritize your kids while they're young. And you have the opportunity to continue in a job that you're good at and stay there because it leaves extra energy at the end of your day. You have the opportunity to work only 8 hours and not be conflicted about working more because we both knew that the person who was in this job before her, um, well, not that she would get it, but the person who was in this job that she wanted to apply for worked way more than 8 hours and still couldn't keep up. So she had the opportunity to make a decision in this moment. And so all of these opportunities come with pros and cons. That's how life works. And her old programming and her definition of success had taught her to prioritize the career progression, the pros of that, over top of anything that she actually wants, because that's how she fit in. Is how she could. But her true self wanted to prioritize her kids. And so we often think of boundary setting as being like with other people, like saying no to other people. But in reality, it always starts with ourselves. It always starts on the inside, and it starts with combating our old programming. So our next step is to think about what are you saying yes to and what are you actually saying no to. So for each of these course of actions, we did this exercise. So if she said yes to applying and getting and saying yes to this more demanding job, her success programs would be celebrating. Ooh. But what would she actually be saying no to? She'd be saying no to leftover energy for her kids, no to time to rest, no to being home for dinner every night. And so if she took this path, what other opportunities might she be missing out on? And if she took another path and she said no to the opportunity, did not apply for this job, what is she actually saying yes or no to? Well, in that case, she would be saying yes to prioritizing her family, yes to not stretching herself too thin, and yes to work life balance, really. And so, what out of all of those things are actually important to her? She gets to decide. She gets to decide that saying no to an opportunity presented in front of you, like a job opportunity, might actually be the greater opportunity. I'm going to say that again. Saying no might actually be the greater opportunity. Because you, my friends, you have the opportunity to choose. The opportunity to choose. Not your old programming, not your mother, not your coworkers. you. You choose how you show up and what you say yes. You choose where you put your energy, and that's where it's ultimately all about. Where are you going to put your energy? And as soon as we laid out her options as equal opportunities, it became very clear to her what she wanted to say yes to. And because it aligned with her true self and her true values, she felt good about that decision. And she was no longer lying awake in bed wondering if she had made the right choice because she was clear on what was important to her, and that felt good. And being clear on what is important to you is the first step towards strong and healthy boundaries and your first step towards safeguarding your energy, which is really what boundaries are all about, because she is no longer wasting energy in this indecision phase. Okay, let's have just one more quick example. Imagine that your boss comes to you with a new project, okay? And you're actually interested in this project. There's a lot of things about it. You kind of want to do it, but you know you're already maxed out and you know you don't have time for it given your current workload. What are your opportunities? Okay, well, there's three obvious ones right off the bat. You have the opportunity to take it and make it work. You have the opportunity to have a discussion with your boss about the workload before making any decisions. And then you also have the opportunity to just say no and continue your current path. So then you can map out what you are really saying no to and yes to, and vice versa. And remember, the whole goal here is to take our old programming out of the equation. Because our old programming is going to want to direct us to the safest course of action socially and not necessarily what is best for you and not caring at all about your values. So your old programming might say, prove your worth, take on the project. And it might say, yes, that project is going to make your job more exciting and this opportunity won't come up again. You're just going to keep doing all the other boring projects you're doing. And it might say, oh, honey, people are going to think you're weak if you don't take it. Mm. And it might say, okay, look around you. Everyone is overworked and you don't want to burden them by refusing this project. Neural programming might tell you that you are letting your team down if you say no. And this is why old programming makes boundary setting so hard. Because our old programming is strong and nasty. But I'm here to tell you that you, my friend, you are stronger. So I teach a full 5-step process to get around your old programming, but we're not ready for that right now. So right now, we're just going to stick to our simple yes-no formula. If our old programming is shoving us towards opportunity number one, which is just take it and shut up, uh, because we don't want to miss out a little bit, there's a little bit of FOMO, we're excited about the project, and because we don't want to let anybody down, let's think about what are we really saying yes and no to? If we do that, if we take it, are we saying yes to being stretched too thin? To letting ourselves down? Or our spouses? Or anyone else who's going to have to deal with our stressed out selves? Are we saying yes to reducing the quality of all of our work because now we are taking on too much? Are we saying yes to letting other people dictate our lives? Are we saying no to rest and balance and no to loving ourselves enough to know when to say no and to prioritize ourselves and our needs? So when we make a choice, we need to really think about what are we really choosing? And so that's for you to ponder this week. And I would encourage you to start practicing with small decisions. Like ask yourself, what are my opportunities here? Then, once you laid out your opportunities, you can say, if I choose option A, B, or C, What am I really saying yes to or no to with each of these choices? Tiny little choices like I have the opportunity to have ice cream for dinner and I have the opportunity to make something healthy. What am I really saying yes to and no to with these choices? Or I have the opportunity to take a break or I have the opportunity to keep working. What am I really saying yes to and no to with each of these choices? Because in reality, saying yes often means no, and saying no often means yes. I say yes to working through my break, and that means I'm saying no to recharging my battery and to giving myself what I need in order to be more productive in the long term. See what I'm saying? So as you practice taking ownership of your choices, what you're actually doing is you are systematically creating new programs to replace the ones from middle school that are still running today. And we want to replace our programs because we want the ones that are relevant to who we are right now today. And you have the opportunity to do this. You have the opportunity to make new programs. It is not an easy path. But what are you saying yes to and no to if you don't? And so I will leave you there, my friend. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and thank you so much for watching today. Take care.